On December 2nd, we released our third commercial game, Get to Work. A rage
It was
game
awesome.
about climbing
I
the
love
corporate
Get to
ladder
Work.
on rollerblades that rewards
sorry,
hitting
one sec.
clean jumps, smooth lines, and precision, and punishes, well, pretty well every mistake. And during our development, playtesters kept saying
Spectacore!
one thing: I can't wait to see the speedrun of this game. And holy they were right. The number of jaw-dropping, brain-busting strats the runners came up with during our speedrun competition was beyond our wildest expectations.
What in the f am I watching?
This is the story of how speedrunners broke our rage game, Get to Work.
Am I a
Now,
speedrunner?
before I dive in, this video contains a ton of spoilers. So if you
Oh,
plan on playing the
please,
game,
forget
I'd
to
strongly
work.
suggest
Come
trying it
on.
first and then coming back to this video. You've been warned. Here we go.
All these fucking
The goal of Get to
playtesters,
Work is to reach the top.
all of these fucking playtesters all played the game early and then had the gall to talk shit to me.
Start in your parents' basement, work your way through various jobs, and end up as CEO. Now, Get to Work is a hard game. Even the first section of the game, which is used to teach you the main mechanics, caused people
Oh my
to
god,
stop.
Iron Mouse played it? Dude, it's not, I don't, okay.
And as you progress through the game only gets harder.
The pipe! No! Dude, this.
Dude.
And harder.
Put a bullet through my skull!
And harder.
This part? Fuck this part.
And of the 8% of people who actually beat the game, it usually takes them anywhere from 8
Eye to embezzlement.
Thank you, water bottle.
Hard work
Let's
has
go!
to 15 hours.
Yeah!
Where credit is due, out of all the big streamers, Ludwig beat the game the fastest in 5 hours and 15 minutes.
Dude, he watched, I can't believe it. Please
Let
add
me
like
tell
an
you,
asterisk.
Even as the dev of the game, that's an incredibly impressive time. But speedrunners are built a little different. Day
What do you
one
mean?
was
I'm a
the Wild
speedrunner!
West. You see, we were holding a speedrun competition for the fastest times after days 1, 3, and 10. And on day 1, nobody had seen
Sorry.
or played the game,
get so
so everyone
emotional.
was really just trying to get a feel for the mechanics.
Oh! Did you see that? Oh my god! The warehouse manager role is mine! Woo!
Beat the game
Whoa.
for the first time and get a good first.
Thank you, Thomas.
Sorry, I
Dan
have been
Corrado,
gone
a variety
recently,
streamer known for
Pookie.
speedrunning
okay.
Poco Stuck, was one of the first runners to submit a competitive time. For
Dude, Dan
context,
Corona,
beat the game for the first time
actual
in under
gamer.
3 hours.
Sub 3 hours! Sub
Real gamer
Like I said,
alert.
speedrunners are built different.
Let's crank up this
Now,
volume,
this run
or
has no
this
major
quality,
skips,
huh?
but acts as a good baseline for all future runs. This is the entire run from start to finish. And to make it easier to digest, I've split the run into 6 major sections. These sections each have multiple checkpoints, which is what you can see in the built-in speedrun timer.
This
we
was
included
cool
in the
that they
game.
did this. Wait, can I just say
first
something?
sec-
Get to Work rules.
Section of the game
This
is
game
flying
was
for
so
jumps.
fun.
It's meant to be a massive parkade with very large, forgiving jumps.
It was, like,
Once you land
so
your
much
first
fucking
interview,
fun.
You're in the pendulum section. These little swinging platforms
kinda
are
can't get
called
over it.
pendulums, and if you hit them at the right angle, they launch you nicely into the air. Individually, with some good timing, they're pretty easy to hit, but as we'll see in later runs,
Hashtag
chaining
ad.
them together is very hard. Dan does it at a casual pace, but completes it with
No,
no
I didn't get
mistakes,
paid to
and ends
play.
up as a warehouse trainee. This section is relatively straightforward with several jumps
I
used
played
to teach
for
new players
free.
how
Did
to
people
maneuver,
get
and it
ad
quickly
money
brings
from
you
this?
into the first big section of the game, the warehouse. The warehouse
The
is
warehouse.
a massive open structure with lots
Has
of
Dan Giesling played Get to Work?
jumps and the first slingshot, a grabbable platform that launches the player forward. Dan doesn't use any skips and continues to work his way through the warehouse following the normal path. And as you can see, the red lines, which indicate his route, cross over a lot. In
This
between
part
the
was hard
various
too in the
slingshots,
beginning.
The open jumps
Man,
that
this
weave
game was
back and
so
forth,
hard.
And the sheer speed you can get from all of the elements, you can see there's a lot
I'll
of
never
room for
play
improvement. Bumper skip. This is
Getting
obviously
Over It.
Incredibly intentional. Doesn't do the second.
No,
part.
not getting
Not even
over
the
it.
second part. Even I do that.
What's that one with the guy with the fucking hammer? What's it
I haven't even beat
called?
the game yet.
Yeah. Dan right now is just running on pure, solid.
Does anyone know what I'm talking
fundamental
about?
Mechanics. And as
I
you can
did
see
the
as this
Getting
video
Over
keeps
It
going,
game.
The room is really big and really open, and he moves into what I call the A-frame section. These black textured A-shaped obstacles are quite tricky.
Difficult
and require
game
a great
about
deal of
climbing?
precision.
Oh, no,
But
getting
Dan
over
makes
is the one I
through
didn't
into
do,
the
sorry.
unpaid intern section where he struggles for a good solid 3 minutes.
The grinders are just trying to like get a solid no mistakes time, no big falls. Dude, it's funny. There's a lot of mistakes too. He's like, fucking.
But then he does his first skip. This
Thank you,
is
Tim.
the 4 floors, and the normal route has you going around and around, gaining height each
Oh!
time. But what's cool about this section is that it takes you back to the same jump.
Wait, are they about to
every
show
time.
Squeak Skip?
But since you gain height, you can jump higher every lap, which is how you climb up the 4 floors.
And then you go to the
And
right.
Between you and me, it's definitely one of the levels I'm most proud of. Come on. Yeah, it's kind of a cool idea.
It's a cool
Anyway,
idea.
Dan figures out if you
Good
launch
job,
off the
Isto.
oval at the perfect angle, you can get more speed.
Floor 3 skip.
And skip a floor.
I do
After
that.
completing the rest of the
Remember?
level, he moves on to a new section I haven't shown yet, the Junior Financial Analyst section. This is roughly the halfway point
Coggers.
and introduces one of my favorite level features, the giant cogs. These massive cogs
Thank you,
spin
Epic
around,
Gamer
and when you grab
Manny.
onto them and release, they fling you into the air. They're a ton of fun and allow us to create
They
a
are
bigger,
fun.
more open section than any other level so far. And after traversing all the way through, you end up at the infamous
Fuck,
bumper
I want to
section.
play again.
This is the section that destroys casual players.
Okay, everyone was saying there was a skip here. Wubby, you can skip this whole area. It's like bait. All right, say goodbye to the ramp, everybody. Chat, wave. We're not going to see that ramp ever again. What did I do? Wave, chat. Why did I do that? Why did I do that?
Now, bless his heart, even with diagrams and strategic planning, it took popular streamer Pay Money Wubby an hour and 45 minutes to get through this section.
Wow,
which
that's
is very
really
normal.
bad.
And let me say, it was damn
Gen X,
entertaining
thank
to see him
you.
conquer this section.
Yelling is so funny. It is funny.
One of the two positions is yours. They created another position for Ted. His uncle is in
Loud
There are
is
speed
funny.
limits. We're like, yeah, I'll just go do it in 2 minutes. I'll be back up.
Actually, Dan does it in 1:58, but potato. And what's really crazy is he does it without any crazy skips and makes a couple of mistakes along the way. But again, it's making great time.
Oh, it's like the first
And
run.
moves in to middle management. In my opinion,
Boop.
this is where the difficulty really starts to ramp up. If you look at middle
I
management and you're
hated
confused
this
about where to go,
section.
well, that's because
The
this
cute,
section
the
is intentionally
fucking
designed to be a bit of a maze.
triangle.
The goal is to slowly work your way up the pyramid, but the normal player experience has a lot more looking around,
Not again.
crying, yelling,
He looks
more
so much
yelling.
better with hair.
Crazy!
and egg.
This game blows. This game blows.
But if you complete the normal route with no mistakes like Dan does, you conquer the maze that is middle management in 2 minutes and 25 seconds and move on to the second part of middle management that we call the giant slope.
I love this
This
part.
section has you
I
traversing jumps
cleared
back
this
and forth
shit.
as you climb up to become department head, and takes you into the last middle management section where Dan introduces the first truly major skip of the game. Now, normally, to beat the final
Oh?
section of middle management, you have to hit some very tricky, precise jumps that loop you around and back, and then hit a big final jump. And
Oh,
if you
this part
screw
was
up,
so
will
fucking
punish you
hard.
severely and drop you all the way down.
Oh no!
Wait, Sea Dog looked at
But
chat
instead
and
of doing
fell?
the big full loop,
I've
he
never
just
seen someone fall like
skips
that.
it. Let me explain. This is the wall bounce skip. My intention with this level was for the player to drive up to it, attempt to grab it, but realize that it's just out of reach. And to be clear, every player tries to hit the wall and get up. We knew about this. And so what Dan does is not easy, but at the perfect angle and speed, he bounces off the wall and
Did
triggers.
you guys know I was supposed to be a voice in this game?
The
But
hang
I just never
mechanic.
answered my emails.
This is the hang mechanic. When you grab onto
I
a
fucked
lower
up.
part of a ledge, the character enters ragdoll mode. And by waving the joystick around, you can flop around and come to terms with all of the progress you're about to lose when you let go. Unless, of course, your game mysteriously crashes.
Game crashed now. This is f***ing weird. Yeah, is it my driver's jet? Is it a patch or something?
However, if
I can't get over the fact that XQC is a Winston main.
you time your flop
Like, of course he's not willing to fucking grind and get to work.
the
He
momentum will
mains
give you
Winston, he's a tank!
tiny bit of an upward lift, allowing you to recover from platforms.
Holy shit.
Let's go.
Now, this mechanic is intentionally janky. Flopping the character is fairly unintuitive, making recovery more difficult. But with good practice, you can really get some decent height.
Oh my god, I'm smelling it.
Now you can tell Dan is still learning the mechanics since it's day one, but with the perfect bounce, he can just barely trigger the hand grab, use that fling to fling himself up, shaving off 2 full
I was
minutes
like
of
randomly good
regular
at
run,
grabbing.
taking him straight into the final section.
I
Now,
still think
if the
keyboard and
beginning
mouse
of
is
the
the
game was
best.
a difficulty of 1 and middle management was a 5, the final section is a 20. This is
Fuck
where
the
we take
final
gloves off
section.
and where most new players spend anywhere from 50 to 70% of their playtime. This section is truly difficult. Even our narrator, CDogVA, who reached the final section in 3.5 hours, which is fast, struggled with this section.
I'm the CEO. It's my company.
No, he
I
misses.
ousted everyone. I put the board of directors in power. They're mine.
No.
No! I really thought I had that. What are the odds that we fail twice, chat? No!
And yes, we made a custom monkey skin just for him, and no, you won't be able to get it. Now, the section is comprised of 3 smaller rooms, and you have to jump between building to building to get to the next part. Every time you have to cross, you have to do so via this double half-oval jump. And because there are 3 rooms, you have to do this jump 3 full times. And this jump is
Yeah,
hard.
this was hard.
After missing twice, Dan clutches up and rips through the rest of the levels.
Yes, yes.
Dan's
yes,
so
yes,
good.
Yes, yes, yes,
He was good at other
with
fighting
no
games
mistakes,
too.
and completes the game
No, it's a W. That's a W.
in an incredible time of 31:51,
Jesus.
solidifying himself as the best speedrunner for the day 1 competition.
That's solid. That's solid.
31 minutes in the first day of this game
Glitchless.
coming out. Can you believe that? In
I'm
one.
just kidding. Speedrunners are crazy. We're just getting started for day 1.
Dan
What?
didn't win?
Dan did not win.
Oh, I thought Dan won.
Motherfucker Dan wasn't even close.
Wow.
You see, while Dan was grinding for a good time, there were a plethora of other runners exploring the game in
Okay, so it seems like you can climb corners. I clipped out of bounds.
more creative ways.
I've clipped out of bounds.
One creative runner by the name of Sibidit
Sweet.
had sent us a run with a very interesting discovery. Now, the first part of his run
What?
isn't particularly interesting. In fact, he does no skips in the run, and it takes him 16 minutes to get to the unpaid internship.
Oh, that's terrible.
And for context, Dan Corona was here in 7 minutes, but in Sibidit's submission form, he accidentally wrote that he got a time of 17:51, which makes no sense. Okay, I take that back. It makes perfect sense.
Wait, what?
Don't ask
Why
for
are you
patch
calling
notes,
me?
bitch.
Wait, how are you here and here? I just wanted permission to watch this video ethically. Is that okay? I don't react usually, but someone linked me this video. Not granted. Well, guess what? I beat you at this game 9 times in a row, so I own this game. Problem?
Holy, that's a shortcut.
Me and
This
Isto.
is the jump pad ragdoll skip, and it's obviously pretty OP. Now, the rules of the competition had been pretty clear that something as broken as this wouldn't be allowed since it would ruin any skill in the game.
What?
And you can see that he messes up the skip a couple of times, and even still manages to skip all the way to the top.
No, that should be allowed.
Luckily, Cividit
Why is that allowed?
reached
Because
out
it
very
skips the
early
skill?
on before he had committed to learning the skip. But I asked him to record a run with the skip anyway, because let's be real, this bug is hilarious. And
Like, okay, if...
very shortly after, other runners like Small Ant found the jump pad bug.
Okay. Whoa, we got it. Holy.
It's a boring
By this
skip.
point, it's getting late in the day, and several runners have started
Thank
to
you,
really
Seahosh.
start to grind the game, trying to beat Dan Corona's time. Aspectcore had discovered in his first playthrough that by grabbing onto
Our
certain
BLJ is boring.
physics-based items, it would, on rare occasion, cause the player's collider to freak out, launching them into the air.
Plain is simple.
What the fuck?
Unfortunately, after an hour of trying to make it work, it ended up being too hard to reproduce.
Shave my head and put on my suit.
What? How have I
Outside
never
the map.
seen
We also
these skips?
probably would have banned it, so sorry, Spectacor. But despite
okay.
that being a flop, he discovered one of the most important skips of the day. This is the interview section, and I glossed over it because after the runners learned about this skip, no one ever runs it again. For normal players, you have to go through these ovals that become increasingly tighter and tighter until you reach the top, where you have to hit a final incredibly
I
tight
did that.
oval to complete the unpaid
It was
intern
easy.
section. But a Spectacore discovers that as you're coming
Thank you,
around the
Jamrock.
4th floor, if you veer left, you can land on this recovery section.
Is Spectacore found this?
Oh, it is a skip.
And with this skip, you're
I've
right
never
at the
even
top,
seen that.
taking you straight to the final tightrope oval, saving you at least 30 seconds, if not more. And with that, a Spectacore starts grinding the game.
No.
Now, after 3 heartbreaking runs,
We got time for one more run.
all with promise to go sub 30,
My life, dude. We got time for like one more good
Fuck
run.
my
and
chungus
all
life.
ending in the last 2 sections, a Spectacore had to concede and let other runners like Frostkiller take the reins, who submitted his run at 5 a.m. Frostkiller introduced 3 major skips, plus a
Degen.
couple of minor ones that really pushed the run forward. Now, because of his low frame rate, his submission is a little nauseating to watch, so I've recreated it at 60 frames per second and kept his times up in the top left. His first 2 sections were relatively
You know
standard,
what
so I'm
a
gonna skip
horrible
straight
trick was that should have been banned? Fucking top grabs.
to the warehouse, where he's a full minute ahead just from clean execution.
I
He pulls
hated
off
that
the
shit.
warehouse manager skip. By
Changing
hitting
your
the jump
FPS is
perfectly, you can get enough
cringe.
speed to land to the left, saving 20 full seconds. Next, he heads to the unpaid intern section and introduces one of his biggest skips in the run. After doing his
Oh,
first
I do
full
this.
loop, he uses this berm to skip up to the 2nd floor,
Squeak
which gives
skip.
him enough speed to jump all the way
Remember?
to the 4th floor.
I do
Meaning
this.
Instead of doing 3 laps like Dan had to do, he only has to do 2 laps. And now, he can use a Spectacore skip to shave a full 5 minutes off of Dan Corona's
I do
time.
this too. Oh, I don't
That's
do that.
wild. But Frostkiller isn't done. Midway through the cog section, Frostkiller is about to complete the first major part, which has you hitting a massive jump that takes you into the company wine mixer. But instead, he flings with perfect precision to the right and skips this big roundabout loop, saving
Oh,
him 15
shit.
seconds as he proceeds
I've never seen
into the
that.
bumpers, where he is the first
Wait, this
runner
is
to
pre-wine
successfully
skip.
complete my pro gamers only route.
No, mine is actually
Since the falls in the
faster.
bumpers are so punishing, we thought it'd be kind of cheeky to add a much faster but more difficult route. And most people who try it, pro gamers only, end up regretting it. But he pulls it off flawlessly on day 1, which is insane, and allows him to move on to middle management well ahead of Dan, where he introduces his final
video
skip.
rules.
In the
What
pyramid
the
section,
fuck?
the normal route is incredibly windy, and one particular curve right here is an absolute run killer.
I
But instead of going right,
I
and
hated
winding
that.
all the way through the pyramid,
Thank you,
well,
iRock.
it turns out, with the right angle and speed, you can just go left. Now, Dan also used this skip, but to my knowledge, either Frostkiller or Small Ant found the skip, so I just included it in this run.
Just
But you
say
can see just how
Squeex.
big of a skip this is. And with
Why
no
not
other new
Squeex?
innovations up his sleeve, all he has to do is execute. And despite having a
I
slower
made
department head and
skips.
vice president, Frostkiller crushes Dan Corona's time with a 23:48, shaving off 8 minutes and 3 seconds.
I'm sorry, are we still on day 1?
And if you look at a breakdown of the 2 runs, you can see how
Holy
big of a time
shit.
save these skips had on the run, and they found them on the first day. It's so impressive. And what's
That's
so crazy is if you
crazy.
look at the achievements of the game, we created a secret achievement for players who beat the game in under 30 minutes, thinking that players maybe one day would break sub 30. And in the first day, Frostkiller went sub 25.
Jesus Christ.
But
Day
what's even more
2.
mind-blowing is the fact that Frostkiller didn't win. Aha, I did it again. These speedrunners are crazy. The winner
What?
of day 1 came out of nowhere and submitted a run with an hour left. What's so interesting is that for most of his run,
Holy
Karem doesn't innovate from
shit.
Frostkiller at all,
He doesn't even go for my skip. Yo.
and definitely leaves some room for improvement in his execution.
Does he do the bumper? Does he do the bumper? Uh-huh.
Nice and slow. He doesn't even rip.
Oh, he does do it. He does do it.
Karem
And
was
in fact,
so good.
doesn't know about 3 big skips that Frostkiller uses. Good for him.
Okay, good for him.
Doesn't skip left.
Doesn't skip
Interesting.
left.
He doesn't even go for the skip?
He's just fucking good at the game.
Really? That's like a 10-second time save.
He's just good.
No way. They don't even go for the cog jump, even the lower cog, which is totally free every run.
But
He's
by
just
having
insane.
a nearly perfect run,
Bro just doesn't make any mistakes.
It's like no screw ups. It's a very clean.
Karem
It reminds
is
me
only
of when I
16
play.
seconds behind Frostkiller when he enters the bumpers.
Okay, how's he do this?
Oh, he just wings it. Oh my god. Okay, pro gamer.
Straight down.
Does he pull it
Okay.
off? No, he just doesn't even bother.
Go straight for this one. I mean, this one is really nice and clean and reliable.
Very, very safe. Yeah, the intention is for people to discover it. That's why the sight lines are like lined up so you can kind of peer into
Oh,
it.
that was
Because
on
I-
purpose?
Oh,
Interesting.
nice.
Oh, that's clean.
Wow,
Good
very
for him.
clean.
Woo! What an angle on that.
I like Point Crow.
Holy.
Now it turns
And
out
Small
Frostkiller
Ant,
also used
and
that massive
Frostkiller,
skip, and so
Krem.
heading
Did
into
Point
middle
Crow ever play
management,
this?
Karem is still 15 seconds behind, and unfortunately,
Small Ant? I
wonders his
know.
run
I fucked up.
and like completely removing any of that frustrating slow parts. What the hell is this? He must have just screwed up, unless. Okay, he just screwed up. Okay. Oh, okay. This is new.
Oh,
And that's a new strat. I did not know about that.
That's the type of thing that I wanted to see, because that saves me from the awful climb in that section.
This skip is huge and saves Karem from having to loop all the way around to go up a floor. And now, the route is much simpler, and Karem is only 16 seconds behind. And because he isn't making any mistakes,
Yeah, what does
by
he
the
do?
time he enters the giant slope, he has completely
Wait,
caught
what
up
skip does
to
he do?
Frostkiller.
He's just that fucking good? He's just
Now,
good?
during the day, Small Ant had made a huge discovery in the giant slope section.
Don't go into the corner in the building. Coming sharper, you start higher on the second jump. What do you mean? Like, coming from like this angle, you mean?
It's just a clean run. Then he goes to the right. Oh, I never was able to do that.
I'm giving you a sub.
And both Karem and Frostkiller use this strategy, but Frostkiller goes left and Karem does not. As
I'm
you can
sorry.
see, the
Did his chatter just help him? I've never read something from my chat and been like, wow, that's really good speedrunning advice. If I listened to my chat, I would have killed myself like 4 years ago.
skip lets them avoid doing all of this, which is
What the
huge.
fuck?
But when Frostkiller goes left, he's actually backtracking, and now has diminished the impact of his initial skip because he has to turn around and continue on the normal route.
What does he-
Karem, on the other hand,
Yeah?
What are they doing now?
Let's see,
uses the
Karem.
little bump to get onto the ramp.
Really?
And now, Karem has skipped having to do both this and this. And without having to do any backtracking, Karem is now 15 seconds ahead.
Holy
But
shit.
he has one more trick up his sleeve.
Karem is
The
so
last part
cool.
of the giant
I
slope
wish I was
section has you
him.
hitting these massive slope jumps. And despite being
Oh, did he
wide,
do the pyramid
you actually
skip?
have to follow the black lines pretty precisely.
Does he
to
do the
complete
skip
section.
here?
But Karem ignores the black lines and hits a different route.
We don't do that. Unless
Wait!
this is related to...
You did it. You pulled off the Doinkler portfolio, you crazy son of a... You did it. Unfortunately...
Okay.
Karem has found the biggest skip of the entire day because the normal route has you going through the inside of the building along this
I do
incredibly
that.
slow tightrope section that you can't speed through. This platform is just too tight.
I wish I was
and
a
if you
real
screw up, the
speedrunner,
run's
but I don't
dead.
want to put in any
What
of the
happened to a
words.
Spectacor? And now Karem is 50 seconds ahead of Frostkiller as he heads into the final section where he's the first to find any skip, albeit small, in this final section. Now, the first two rooms are
What's the
completely
skip?
standard,
What's the
but
first
again,
skip in this section?
nearly perfect execution. This guy isn't missing anything.
It's gonna be
course he
something
gets it.
so subtle.
And then he introduces his final skip.
It's the first
Oh,
one.
he
this
skips
one.
3.
It's the fourth one.
Wow.
Lines off the- whoa,
Okay, that
whoa.
one's crazy.
That is crazy.
Oh, that is...
That's risky.
Jesus, that would make me so nervous this far into the run.
Yeah, that's a
That
big
is
ball.
huge. That was so clean. Holy.
Wait, do you guys?
And
Was anyone watching when
completes the
I
run,
found that
winning
skip?
the day one
myself?
competition with a monstrous
realize
time
that
of
someone else found
20:46, 3 minutes faster
Like I didn't
than
copy anybody.
Frostkiller and 11 minutes faster than Dan Carone.
I'm not lying.
With the first leg complete, we entered the second leg of the competition that this time lasted 2 days instead of 1. And so began the quest to go sub 20. And for the first day, no competitive times were submitted until at 3 a.m., Dan Corona submitted a new run with a ton of new strats.
Oh,
you see,
really?
during the day, we had noticed there were two groups forming. Those that were very interested in discovering strats, bugs, and wild skips, and the grinders who were interested at getting really good at the game. Dan Corona started calling the strat finders the scientists, which
Hey,
I
that's-
quite like. So I'm
that's
going to
so
use it.
funny, 'cause that's
And in
how
our
Mario
Discord, they were
works,
hard at
too.
work cooking up new tech in the lab and sharing their results. Dan
That's
had
a
taken
good
all of those
division.
findings and was trying all night
You got your
to combine them
scientists.
into one cohesive run. Dan had 3 major skips and 2 minor ones, but couldn't string them together. And coming off of a devastating run that was ruined by a very rare bug where you fall off the slingshots,
Oh
which is now
my
fixed,
God,
Dan's
that
mental
would be
was at an
so
all-time low.
tilting.
1630 in the second to last area of the game.
Oh,
and I get
Dan.
stuck.
And since he had to work in the morning, this was his last run of the night.
Work.
Last one.
The first part of his run is very standard, so we're actually going to start
Dude, Dan Corona was working a full-time job
in the warehouse.
and grinding
because during
get to
the day,
work.
No one
Jesus.
cooked harder on strats.
What's my
than
excuse?
Small Ant. He was the first to discover that I had placed a very sneaky slingshot
It seems like
here.
landing
Bro played get to work and then got to work the next morning.
here,
That's
then here,
crazy.
going in this,
That's actually fucking
then landing directly on
insane.
this. Nice. That's so clean, dude. That's so cool.
Now, because it was OP,
That is
my intention
cool.
was for it to be hard to get to. You had to hit this horizontal slingshot, dive through the upper hole, into a jump, down
What?
this giant
Wait,
tube
this
that
is what you're
shoots you out,
supposed to do?
land on this tiny section of the ramp
get
and pop
there?
up,
Oh my
and
God,
voila,
I just-
you can use the slingshot.
Everyone
to
just
rocket
went to
you
the
up.
side. Wait, it still must
And
be
runners
so
like
sad.
Spectacore were trying to learn this route, but weren't having much luck.
What am I doing here?
He must be so sad that
don't
no one
belong
followed
here.
directions.
Oh, mother.
Fortunately, Small Ant discovers that you don't need to do the hard
Yeah.
part. If you veer off from the intended route, you can ride the wall to access the slingshot. Now, it's not as fast as the route I had in mind for the runners, but it still saves Dan a ton of time. Moving up to the unpaid intern section, Dan makes a minor improvement to the interview skip, where if you hit it perfectly, you can skip up, avoiding going lower. Now, it's a minor skip, but
I do
this
that.
will come into play later on, so I wanted to point it out. Now, this is not a perfect run, and Dan makes some pretty big mistakes, so there's some real room for
Oh,
improvement, but
it's
the
so
skips
sad.
he introduces in the last section are so big that he can afford to. In fact, after
Is it evil that I like seeing people on green runs and then making a mistake at the end?
ripping through middle management,
Like,
Dan
it
is
gives
actually
me
14
pleasure for
seconds
some
behind
reason.
Karam's original run.
I don't know why.
But
Am I
again,
evil?
because Small Ant and the other scientists were cooking so hard during the day, Dan is armed with some new strats and
jealousy,
hits
I
this gray
think.
section, bumping left. Now, I think now's a good time to explain the final section of the game. This is the first part, the department head section. And to start, you hit these jump pads in a massive loop. But by hitting the
Oh,
gray
he just
rail,
does this
you can
shit?
just skip all of it.
I never did that.
The rest of the
I'm
department
too
head section
dumb as
combines
fuck.
everything
I
the
used
players
to do
have
this the
learned
whole
throughout
time.
The rest of the game. You have jump pads, winding and precise jumps that are chained together, and the slanted ramps.
I remember I would watch Atrioc do this, and I
It's
feel like that
windy,
was
it's so
cheating.
punishing, and it's slow. And up until now, it's lacking any major skips. But during the day, speedrunner Hikazi shared a new strat with Dan.
Go up this wall. Get into
What
crack,
the fuck
and
is
you just ride
this?
along it. Boom.
What
Saves
the
you 3 or 4
fuck is
seconds if you
that?
go full speed.
I've never
And
seen
now
that.
the tables have turned, and Dan is 14 seconds ahead.
Why? Why is there like a little divot
Karam.
here?
I'm like a monorail, bitch.
But Dan has one final trick up his sleeve. This is Karem's original route. He hits every jump pad and follows the normal route. But Dan skips the jump pads, rides the corner, and instead of going straight, he
goes to
hooks
the right.
Right.
I did this.
And now the route looks
Guys,
like this.
I'm not even kidding you. I did this before Dan Corona.
Now, I'm not sure
Check
who
back
found it
in the
first, because
VOD.
earlier in the day, Small Ant had found an even more optimized version.
I have
just
proof
use
in
the
my
jump
VOD.
pads,
I
saving
did this.
even more
Don't
time.
you remember? Don't you remember?
That's what we need to learn how to do,
Come
baby.
on.
But Dan
That
seems
was
to
a second day.
create his own variation, so they probably discovered
Oh, this is day 2. I
Each on
guess
the route.
that was my second day of playing.
And with
Oh,
that,
okay.
Dan clutches up with his last run
Okay,
of
they
the
did it
night
first.
and gets a world record.
It's not sub 20, but it's world record still, boys. Let's fucking go.
Good job, Dan Corona.
And with the 2023,
He's
the quest
awesome.
to break sub 20 inches closer. Dan continues to hold the world record for nearly 24 hours until Frostkiller submits a new run
You drift
with 1
nasty.
minor skip and 2 massive skips. The run starts off pretty
Oh.
standard until he reaches the warehouse. And again, I had to recreate his run since the low frame rate is pretty hard on the eyes.
Come
Now,
on.
Frostkiller has learned about my secret slingshot, and despite not going for
Oh,
my
he goes to
intended
the
route,
right!
he's found a minor adaptation where he hooks right, skipping a ton of extra route. Again, a minor change, but once we move into the junior financial analyst section, he pulls off
I copied that
the
from a
infamous
better runner.
wine mixer skip. First discovered by speedrunner Sheekins, after you launch off the last cog, you have to land this massive gap and run right to continue your path. But
And then he
if you time it
separates?
perfectly and ride the wall all the way
I
up,
did that!
you can actually land at this high point.
Don't call
And to
everything
illustrate
Squeex
how
skip.
big of a time save this is, you can see that by doing the wine mixer skip, you eliminate having to do all of this, which shaves off nearly a full minute from Dan's run. Now, beyond this, his run is pretty standard, but because of the wine mixer skip and by only making a couple of
Standard.
mistakes, by the time he enters the department head section, he's 2 full minutes ahead
Jesus.
of Dan. And then, while crossing the gap into the final section, Frostkiller misses the jump and lands in the recovery section.
What? Oh, is this the jump pad? Did
see,
you do it on purpose?
Because this jump is so hard, I created a bit of a recovery. So if you mess up, one, you don't fall all the way back down to the bottom. But two,
Get to
this
where
little jump will
cosplay
launch
is
you all the way
crazy.
back to the half oval jump, where you can try one more time. And most people do manage to get across their second try. But Frostkiller actually doesn't mess up and has a different plan. He drops down and with perfect precision hits this recovery jump pad and skips all the way up. Now, when you see it done, it seems so OP and so easy, but when I was building it, it wasn't obvious at all and really only works at this very specific angle and
I never
speed.
had problems with it.
Speedrunners, am I right?
Thanks.
Now,
Yeah.
the skip, which was first discovered by Eula Crevette, is actually 2 seconds slower than Dan's route, but it's the catalyst to something much bigger later on in the competition, so I had to show it. And with that, Frostkiller shatters
Dude, I
the
never
sub
figured out the
20
double
barrier with a
boost.
time of 18:29.
Damn, 2 minutes?
For the next 12 hours, the competition
Jesus
is unsuccessful
Christ.
in dethroning Frostkiller's time.
2
And with 12
minutes.
hours left, most of the hardcore grinders had started to focus on the last leg of the competition, which, unlike
Thank you,
legs 1 and
Baylors.
2, was glitchless. And with 2 hours left in the
God
competition, a
damn.
new runner, who was also focused on glitchless, submits a new run.
What was your
This
fastest
is
time? I don't remember. 1958.
Elving, who submitted a run with only a couple of minor tweaks to Frostkiller's, but just really improves on the execution. Starting in pendulums, he's the first person to successfully chain these pendulums together. Now, it's not that big of a time save, but it's so hard to do during
That's
development. I
good.
could never do it, so I wanted to highlight it. I think it's really cool. And Elving is finally the first person to use my warehouse skip, which if you can't tell, I'm kind of happy about because I put in a lot of work to create it. And to top it off, his execution is basically flawless. I mean, he is hitting every jump
He's so
perfectly, getting the perfect
awesome.
amount of height. It's pretty impressive. And that puts him 10 seconds ahead of Frostkiller. Again, in
He's
middle
so
management, a minor
awesome.
tweak to the
Rowan
route, where
Freund,
he
thank
uses
you.
a new Smollett strat.
Okay. Grab. Hold
Guys,
up.
I shouldn't have won speedrunner of the year. Okay, I feel. Let's just keep it 100%. This is crazy.
Up. Good. All right.
Over on the
I
giant
should
slope,
not have
he
won it
uses
last
another
year
Smollett skip
only,
that saves
because I'm
a
gonna win it
ton
2 years
of
in a
back and
row.
forth. This
Thank
is
you, Epic
Frostkiller's
Cooler.
route, and like I said, it's a big old back and forth, and this ledge is too high for players to get up, so you have to go around, unless of course you hit it perfectly, like Elvic does. And it does have a bit of backtracking, but it is a lot faster. And with no
Whoa, it
other
is
skips, he closes
faster.
out his run with a beautiful 18:17, shaving off 12 seconds from Frostkiller's time to take first
Damn,
place in
dude.
the second leg
Second
with a
day, people are getting 18s? How? I don't get it.
glitchless
Like,
run,
how?
no less. Now, going glitchless in a leg that allowed glitches surprised me. I thought glitches would play a big role, but between runners being hyper-focused
Thank
on the
you,
final
rotting
leg,
memes.
which was worth the most money, and with the glitches that were being
What's going on
found
with
not
your hair?
making that big of a difference in time,
A little rat climb.
it turned out to not be the case. Until 30
Day-
minutes before the deadline,
Oh,
Karem
it's
submitted another
debated.
run. And I hope you're ready to buckle up because this
I'm
mother
buckled.
did it again with 6
Hey, come on,
major
Isfo, I
innovations.
don't know.
Now, I just wanted to start by playing a tiny bit of his run throughout the parkade. I've really glossed over the parkade because, to be honest, there haven't been any crazy skips, but it's just kind of satisfying to see someone run the
Thank you,
optimal
Dirt
route.
Fred.
And admittedly, it's quite easy to learn this part of the run. Pretty much
Yeah.
every runner is doing this no problem, which means if you're
I've never done
interested
that.
in speedrunning the game, just saying, This part is doable, and the game is available on Steam. And
Oh,
Xbox.
ad.
Anyway, Karem continues to
Okay, no joke. This game is really great.
hit the perfect route, and like other runs in Like 2,
James,
only
thanks for
really
the
starts to
Prime.
innovate
It actually
in the
is
warehouse,
great.
where he introduces probably the most famous and most impactful skip of the entire competition. I've seen a ton of innovations. Someone found my slingshot, which is really exciting. So I think there's...
Oh, man.
What the f was that?
Is Aatrox playing a game on monitor 1? Who does he think he is, Sam Bankman-Fried? Pay attention to the meeting.
Wiggling his controllers. What is he doing? Okay. He just gets like a ton of vertical air. That's cool. Nice job coding it, Isto. I would have done that. I would have.
Oh my god.
This whole game's broken.
Do you know how long we've tested the slingshot for?
This whole game's broken. Don't do it again. Don't do it again.
There's no way.
No.
He just skipped the entire level. He just skipped the
That's
entire
good.
level. I don't understand.
Well, this speedrun's gonna end up being 30
Thank you,
seconds.
Bobik.
Given how important this skip is, I think it's worth explaining what's happening. First discovered on day 1.
What
by
is
runner
happening?
Hello S, and
Yo,
then refined by
Big
Big Willie
Willie!
that same day, it turns out that if you grab onto the very top of the slingshot, it produces some unexpected results.
Yeah, why?
Wait a second. I think you're onto something.
Many days after the speedrun competition, we finally figured out what is actually happening. Here's what the physics system sees.
Okay.
These are the slingshot's colliders. In the normal case, the player grabs onto the slingshot, and on release, we apply a fixed velocity to the player. This is so they always launch in the same direction and at the same speed.
Makes sense.
It makes the slingshots more dependable and more fun.
Thank you, Petex.
But if you are a sneaky speedrunner and roll up the slingshot and grab the top, the slingshot and the player's collider will get out of sync and the player can end up here. Why that happens,
and then he's clipping
it's complicated.
through.
So we're just going to skip the explanation. But when they do get
He's
out of
clipping.
sync, the physics system goes, wait a second, you're not supposed to be inside of the slingshot. I better try to push you out. But at the exact same time, our slingshot system goes, time to apply the velocity to you, good sir, and send you on your way. And the two get added together, giving you this. So not only does Karem get shot
interesting.
straight up, but he has found a way to get
Dan Corona, ladies and gentlemen. Someone give them a sub.
more velocity
Cookie.
from the slingshots than we had ever intended. It's insane. And because of that, he clears the entire warehouse in 1 minute and 30 seconds, which is 30 seconds faster than Elving. He continues to run a clean, unpaid intern and junior financial analyst. And by the time he gets to middle management, he has continued to hold a 30-second lead. But everything in middle management and beyond is where Karem truly shines. Regular standard stuff. And then now he's like, this is normally a recovery route. Like, I don't know.
Damn,
I
he's
don't know
so
what he's
cool.
talking
Contra,
about.
thanks for
This
giving us
is
up to Dan
recovery,
Corona.
like the slingshot.
No, he's gonna break your.
Oh!
If I was a dev, I would hate
Now,
speedrunners.
other runners like Frostkiller knew about the top grab, but it's
You work
tricky.
so hard on making every section work, and then like one little trick, you just fucking skip the entire thing.
And even he couldn't pull it off and had to resort to a different route. But
Wait,
Karem's
I'm
execution
Nintendo.
is top notch.
I'm
and
patching
lands
out
him 3
BLJs.
levels higher. And you don't need to top grab to do this skip. You can do it pretty much every time by using the slingshot normally. But Karem is just flexing on the haters as he prepares to move into the giant slope, where he has another huge trick up his sleeve.
Oh, does he do the
He just
pyramid?
skipped all of middle management.
Dude,
He skipped, like,
Krem's
the
just
whole
insane.
damn thing.
Like, this is... I remember fucking up so many runs. Whoa.
By hitting this lower ledge, he carries the momentum from the slingshot to ride up the slope. And if you look at the normal
Can they make DLC for this
middle
game?
management route and compare it to Karem's, it's so
Right
nasty.
now.
I mean, just look at how windy the
Please.
original is, and he just skips it all. And normally, this path forces you into this exit point where you
Get
just can't
3
generate enough
work.
speed. But his skip lets him carry so much momentum, he can just ride straight up. Even compared to the other runners who have to backtrack, it's just such a big time save.
To get to work.
At the top of the giant slope, he of course pulls off his signature skip.
Come to see how the greats do it. Genuinely though, like look at this gameplay.
And then, by using the wall bump skip, he enters the department head section a full minute and a half ahead of Elvin,
Jesus
and doesn't waste any
Christ.
time introducing a new skip.
Oh, the
No,
top
I'm
grab
right,
here.
There's another slingshot. I don't.
There is.
Where are you going?
Wait, what?
So much height.
Wait, why
Dude,
is he
this is where it
pausing?
gets so dumb, though. The fucking
know.
FPS
Why
shit.
Does he?
You see, Karem has paused the game to open up a metronome that
Oh,
is
never
playing
mind.
at
I
exactly
take it back.
215 beats per minute, and then proceeds to climb
This is
straight up the wall.
This is a bad lookus though. We're cooked.
And if you're wondering if
Wait,
you can
that's
just
so
climb up
funny.
every single wall in the game, you cannot. This is just the magic
Yeah,
of
I wonder why
speedrunners.
not.
Let me explain. This is Small Ant. He's a
Hi.
speedrun-focused streamer who picked up the game on day one, and on his first playthrough, he discovered that some walls are climbable.
What if we just like Spider-Man over there?
And before even beating the game, he climbed,
Come on.
and he climbed, and he climbed. And to beat the punishing
Jesus.
final level, you must jump back and forth between two very tall buildings. Unless, of course, you just climb.
Wait, I'm sorry. Doesn't using a metronome make that a tool-assisted run? Isn't that technically a tool-assisted?
The whole thing.
Bro, what are you doing? What is he mashing his way up the building? He's been like this for 10 minutes. Where is he even in the context of the level?
I love that this is the run.
This is the grab mechanic, and there's three major pieces to understanding how he's breaking the game the way that he is. The grab acts as a braking system for the players to slow
Right.
down. When you're going really fast on flat ground, you slide a bit and then stop. It's incredibly helpful on tight platforms and giving the players more control over your very slippery character. And when you're on steep slopes and vertical walls, the player can grab and slow themselves down.
No. No.
Thank you,
This
Chuck
lets them
Limo.
evaluate where to fall to, which again makes the game a little less punishing, because let's be real, it's a pretty punishing game. Lastly, we added what we call the release boost, which gives the player a tiny boost of speed.
Has
right
Isto
after
ever
they
tried
release the grab.
speedrunning this, I wonder?
During development, players kept slipping off the edge and getting really
Oh my god, look,
frustrated
Mario's in the
because it felt like
background.
they should be able to scooch over the edge.
Look.
You see, behind the scenes, the player is actually a giant ball. This is what the system sees, a
Thank you.
big old ball rolling around. The player model doesn't affect gameplay at all. So when the ball approaches a ledge, you can
That's
see
Spanish
that this point of no
XQC.
recovery visually makes sense. Your brain goes, of course the ball would slip off the edge. But the model looks like it should be able to recover. And video games are all about what feels right, so we
True.
created a mechanic called the release boost. When you release the grab, we increase the friction on the ball for a quarter of a second. And when you're on the edge or on a wall, that extra friction helps the ball just squeak over the edge. Unless, of course, you
Yes!
furiously
I'm
spin
in
the
the
grab,
video!
which essentially gives the ball a permanent friction boost.
He's a gamer. Ah!
Now, we knew about this, so we tagged every piece of geometry in the game as either slippery or non-slippery. Slippery geometry, which you can see is on the walls and vertical
Vito,
objects,
thank you.
stops the system from applying the extra friction. So you
Oh,
can't
that
spam the
makes
grab button and
sense.
climb all over the place. The system is foolproof. You cannot cheat the system, unless the level designer, aka me, forgets to add the correct tags to a handful of geometry, and a particularly motivated speedrun streamer
I didn't
tests
actually know you
every
could climb up to the CEO
piece of
level.
geometry in the entire
Like,
game
on the outside.
day one. Now, when that happens, well, it turns out the entire final section of the game can be skipped. However, wall climbing is incredibly inconsistent. That's why Small Ant spent 10 minutes just climbing the last wall, and none of the other runners like Dan could figure out how to make it consistent. Until one of the scientists posted a video of him climbing. Cividit asks why there's a random clicking noise in the background, in which he casually responds, metronome. Because apparently, if you repeatedly tap the grab key at 215 beats per minute, you can consistently wall climb. Which also means he probably tried so many different BPMs to make this work. Which is insane? Impressive? Probably both. And Karem has discovered
It's
one
amazing.
additional thing. Apparently, if you increase your frames per second, you
No.
can climb faster, which is why his frames go from 60 to unlimited. But Karem, armed with top grabs and a metronome, skips the entire department head section and is the first person to finally find a skip in the second last room.
A skip here?
Top
Oh,
grab.
the top grab skip.
Ooh.
Oh, I've never been able to do that.
Oh, he's doing another top grab.
These top grabs are so hard.
Straight up.
Wow.
Lands on here. There's enough speed on this?
Make it illegal.
He has to
Flip.
Oh my god.
Just to
Nice.
barely do it. Wow. I was like, I don't think there's enough speed on that one. Yeah, that's funny.
Again, another massive time save that carries him through to the end of the run with a staggering
My time still wouldn't
14:50,
matter.
Nearly
Yeah, you're
2.5 minutes
I'm just
faster
jealous.
than
Is
Elving,
that what you wanna
earning
hear?
him first place in both leg 1 and leg 2.
Holy shit, 1450?
And with that, it was time to move on to the final
Oh
leg of the
my
competition, the
God.
glitchless run. With 6
And
days
it's
to grind
only
and the biggest prize
day
pool, everyone was
4.
focused on winning this leg of the race. And because it was glitchless, Karem's winning run wasn't valid for this leg, setting the world record back to 1817, which
Christ.
also reopened the quest to go sub 15. But it wasn't long before that was broken because Small Ant had been grinding. Now, while Small Ant rips through the parkade, I wanted to explain the rules of
so
the final leg. You
cool.
can't clip out of bounds. Wall climbing is allowed, since it's an
Okay.
intended feature, but we patched the really important walls to not be climbable like the end section. And our whole team met and decided that top grabs should be kept in permanently as a feature, not a bug, since they're so cool. And because of those rules, most of
Alright.
Small Ant's run is pretty much the same as Karem's, except
I'll allow
for
it.
the final section, because we patched out the wall climb. This means that runners have to start from scratch and re-event how to run this final section. Now, the top grab you're seeing here looks big, but it turns out to be a very minor skip that really only saves a couple of seconds.
Man, not a
Because
fan of top grabs. Have you
without
played the
wall climb,
game?
they're forced to drop
Or
down
like
to
as
the
a
main
watcher?
entrance.
I don't mean to
And
be
if you
combative.
remember, this section is slow and tedious. And yes, there
No.
are some minor skips like veering
I'm not
left of this
asking you
jump pad.
guys.
And believe it or not, Small Ant bungles up
I've
this
played?
skip,
Oh,
and now
cool.
he has to do the full
Noah has
route.
diabetes,
Without the wall
thank
climb,
you.
The runners
No,
are
I
at
didn't
a
mean it
massive
rude.
disadvantage that I
I have just had a hard time.
That's better.
think
This
will make
shit.
sub 15 impossible. This skip, first found by Discord user Anton, lets you essentially skip the entire department head section. And it seems pretty simple.
I
but
keep
it's actually pretty
splatting.
tricky, and the
I
skip
couldn't
is
do
quite
this
elegant.
one. I
So
did
let me
it, but like
explain.
it's
the
so
way the jump
hard.
pad normally works is when you enter this red
Thank
zone,
you, Zara.
jump pad will apply an upward force to the player. So if you come in from a normal angle, the player's
Yeah?
velocity will look like this. And adding the jump pad's velocity to the
I
player
got a lineup for you,
results
Squeex.
in
Is it that dot on the ramp?
this. And they
Damn.
happily bounce
There's
away.
a dot that I used to line
But
up
if you were
with.
to collide with
but I
the
still
lower
fucked
section,
it up.
well, most of the time you splat against the wall.
Like, Ludwig's doing his first playthrough and going for this skip. Like, fuck you. Oh, yeah, he just was gonna do it randomly. Like, it's so stupid that he got, like, a week of just watching, like, real runners like me and Dan Corona.
But if you can hit the wall just under the speed threshold that doesn't cause you to splat, you'll bounce up.
Oh, a
And
feathering
if your
of-
collider
I would
is
go
even
too
a
fast.
fraction within the jump pad's collider, it will trigger the bounce, which, by the way, isn't easy to do.
Oh.
But if you pull it off, the player's velocity is now
Thank
pointing
you, last
up,
name Spencer.
and so the resulting velocity is also up. And after a clean VP section, Small Ant is the first to use the Lord Mouse skip. Lord Mouse had been actively submitting runs, but other runners had been so cracked that I haven't had a chance to show him.
Skip quite a bit.
But all credit goes to him for finding this one.
I did this.
And not only is the normal route slow and windy, but it's also hard. So by hitting the jump pad, you could just skip that hard section. And with just those two new skips alone,
I
Small
lost
Ant
so many
manages
runs
to
to
claim
that.
a new world record.
1643.
Damn.
17 or an 18.
Dude,
and I
sub
never
17.
will. Two quick ones.
But only several hours after, Dan Corona strikes back with only a very minor optimization in the parkade, and then
Dan,
transitions that
from the
into a
chat.
pendulum skip
Ooh, I could have sent it there. I could have.
and takes the world record back with a 16:29.
Ooh.
By day 5, the quest to go sub 15 continues as runners, not Edge, introduces a minor skip in middle management.
No, not
where he
Dan
top grabs
Clancy.
to get a little more height, and with good technique, runs a
That's
15:43, shaving 45
I've
seconds
never seen that.
off of Dan Corona.
Oh.
But at the exact same time that Not Edge takes the world record, Dan Corona was grinding the game and was having
No, look at his time.
a tough day. With fall after fall after fall, he wraps up the day with the exact same time.
Hey
as
Dan,
Not-
how does it feel that Isto went through your VODs to find you fail? Clip those parts, put them together. That's crazy.
Edge with a 15:43.
That's so. He literally in that section made a fail compilation. So
But
evil.
unfortunately, it didn't matter because
So
Small Ant
evil.
had the better execution of the day. And with only one tiny tweak, where the runners learned that riding around the curve in middle management was actually faster, and with good
Do you want a
execution,
fail compilation?
Small Ant is the
You just have to upload my old fucking VOD.
first to go
I wish I
sub
did those
15.
fails.
1459, that's the sub 15, baby.
But the battle between Dan and Small Ant wasn't over.
Yeah, go
And Dan
Dan!
decides that the only way to win is to think outside the box.
We gotta
Yes!
lock in. We gotta think of other ways. How do we
Oh
lock
my God,
in
Arsenal fan.
and become world record holder? There's only one answer. Now we're ready to get
Hell
world record.
yeah.
Now we're ready.
Oh my God, does he
And with added
PB?
aerodynamics, he shaves off 9 seconds to set a new world record of 1450.
Holy shit. Let's fucking
But
go.
despite this being a world record, Dan has made some mistakes in the final section, leaving some room for improvement. And Karem capitalizes on that. And despite not introducing any new skips, submits a 1358,
Jesus
shaving off 14
Christ.
seconds just from pure execution alone. And now there's almost no room for improvement until new skips are found. But I said almost no room for improvement. And Dan Corona comes back with a vengeance with a generational run, devoid of any major mistakes.
Holy shit.
Except for that one. And unfortunately, it's the end of the weekend and the start of the work
He's gonna get a 13.
week, which means Dan is done grinding. But more importantly, by day 7, Karem has found some new tech. Now, for the sake of suspense and for brevity, I'm going to show where the skips are, but reveal them in the final winning run. But what's so interesting about this submission is for the very first time, someone has found innovations in the first 2 sections. What they are, you'll have to wait and see. But they're big enough that Karem secures a new world record of 12:36.
Holy shit, dude.
Tons of runners were trying to catch up, but just couldn't. A Spectacore PB'd with a 15:20, Ihimaida with a 15:05, Frostkiller ran a 13:22, and Bronze Blaze ran an impressive 13:08. But again, not enough.
Not enough.
Until day 8, where a brand new runner emerged. This is Lance, the former Only Up world record holder who had learned about the game only a couple of days prior
Holy
and had been
shit!
grinding offline. Even though he didn't submit this run, word had gotten out that he had beaten the world record. So I reached out and got a hold of the footage and verified that it was in fact true, because Lance and not
The
Edge
offline
had
runner.
figured out a massive skip
Holy
in the last
shit.
section. But
From the
with
chat.
the skip being held secret, Lance's time of 12:12 was the first run to truly put Karem in the hot seat. And for all of day 9, Karem and the other runners were unsuccessful in dethroning Lance's time. And on the final day, day 10, Lance's time
Wait, I don't know
remained
who wins.
untouched. And with 12 hours
Don't
left,
spoil it.
no response from Karem. 10 hours, no response. 8 hours, no response. But with only 6 hours left, Karem submits an 11:46.
11:46.
3 massive skips and 3 minor skips. The innovations are starting to pile up.
6
That whole
hours
night, Lance
before
had
the
been grinding to
competition.
beat his time, and with only 5 hours left, Lance PBs with an 11:55, 9 seconds short of Karem, and then concedes, revealing his strats to the rest of the competition, leaving Karem victorious. With 4 hours left, Bronze Blaze goes 12:26, but again, not enough. And with 3 hours left, a runner by the name of Space Hunter comes out of nowhere and submits an 11:41, shaving off 5 seconds of
Jesus
the time
Christ.
it took Karem all week to get. And when I say come out of nowhere, I mean they didn't submit any runs prior, and their only message in the Discord was a link to the run and their time. And now there's
Dude,
not
he even
enough
linked it on mobile YouTube. That's crazy. M.
The
Dot.
Discord was a link to the
Look. He submitted this on his phone.
run and their time. And now there's not enough time to respond, and the clock continues to run down. With 2 hours left, Karem cannot beat the time, and the clock continues to run down, and with an hour left, Karem can't beat the time.
What?
And now that it's over, a ton of other runners are starting to submit their best times. And I want to highlight the ones that went sub 15, especially Brandwagon with a huge 12-minute. And of course, Karem with an 11:40? Submitted with 50 minutes left, he manages to go 1 second faster.
Holy
What?
shit.
Talk about clutch. Now, before I show the winning run,
Holy
I just want to
shit.
thank everyone who ran the game and to everyone who submitted, especially to our winner. That's right, baby. It's not over. The winning time was ran live with 20 minutes left by the only runner who had any chance of beating Karem
Squeex
himself. That's right. In the very last hour, Karem was on
Jesus Christ! Out of nowhere.
11:40 and then shaves off another 12 seconds to guarantee his win. For the sake of entertainment, I'm actually going to show off Karem's 9:57 that he runs a week later, since it's exactly the same, but with 2 more
A
massive skips.
10-minute run.
Enjoy.
Okay. I don't feel like there's too many shortcuts in this game. I guess at the...
Oh mein Gott, das wird so satisfying jetzt.
What the heck was that? Huh?
Das war ein kleiner Skipper, den hier genommen hat.
What the heck was that? Hi?
What the
I'm sorry, what the fuck? Wait. What the fuck did he just do?
I saw these, but then I forgot about
Oh my
them.
god, Ella!
Out of the first room in 30 seconds.
Why are there bouncy pads there? Ride the wall.
Ui, Alter, diese komplette Sektion geskippt.
Holy
shit.
Why are there bouncy pads? Is that literally a dev path?
What just happened?
Hits these without stopping? No way. Oh my god. that
I'm
was
getting
fast.
mogged.
Good RNG. Oh, terrible RNG.
Shut up,
Did
Adrian.
he consider quitting there? What was that?
Oh, he's changing an
He almost
FPS.
quit because he got bad RNG.
God
Wow.
damn it.
His camera movement's so good.
Where was your
I'm glad
react?
I
I
kept
didn't react to this.
Ah, nee, das ist nicht der Start, ne?
I've never seen
Das
this.
ist ein anderes. Ja, ich erinnere mich. Das ist ein Fake-Start.
Oh, this part. I remember this part. I was so frustrated.
Yeah. You want to lead where your next jump is. He's going to lead right again. Yeah.
Okay, damn.
Dude, I would
Shit,
hate
I
to
was-
see Ludwig react to my world record. I hate when he does that. When he's like, yeah, this is how it's done, yeah.
I'm
Like,
familiar with your game.
Hits this.
bro's
tight
got a
corner,
6
hits this.
hour time.
Broski.
You can do that?
Yeah.
Another FPS change. I wonder why you have to change. I mean, I guess you don't lose time.
On the underside of the bounce pad?
That's
Oh
so
my God, was?
sick.
Wait, there's nothing in there. What would you...
Bro, halt's Maul. Holy shit.
Yeah, I would have done that too. What the fuck was
Oh,
this jump
why
pad?
doesn't he
What
land on
crazy
this?
jump
It
pad?
feels like optimization. Oh, because it's a top
What
grab.
the fuck is going on?
Oh my god.
He's lowering the FPS? What does that do? Does that like supercharge you off or something?
Plays like, wait, skips the thing? Oh my god, you can do
That
that?
doesn't even make sense gravitationally.
Yeah, the pauses are him switching his frame rate, so I think the top grabs are easier.
Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa.
Nice guy. I should do that. What are you doing? What is he doing? What is he doing? What the fuck are you doing?
I'm sorry?
What are you doing? What is he doing? What is he doing? What the fuck are you
Holy shit.
Bro! Wait, that's so sick!
All right, what about this room?
This is basic for a CEO. Okay.
Oh, nice. That's smooth.
Oh, I was so frustrated this part.
Finde ich, gab's nur ein crazy skip.
Yeah, he's gonna
ansonsten
lead
macht
on
es
to
die
the right
Ausführung
here.
einfach
Yeah,
gut.
okay, just as I said.
Oh, is that
I
the
pretty
only
much
one
do
coming
this.
out, the jump pads?
I do this part exactly the same.
Boom.
So,
Okay, what does he do here? Is there anything different?
whatever.
Okay, so this one you skip to floor 4. I probably do this a similar skip to this guy.
Oh, just a nice little corner. Nice. Corner there, hits this, hits the middle, hits the bottom.
I guess they go from second floor to fourth. Oh, very nice. Okay, yeah, that's a neat little skip.
No, but I actually do the skip, dude. I speed run.
eat it a little more optimally, I guess.
Yeah, I think just a
He's gonna do the
little.
rest of it like a peasant.
Yeah, every jump is very smooth. Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
A little more shallow.
I've seen like
He's
really
trying to
good
get
runners.
faster, which
They
makes a lot of
skip
sense.
up above
Trying to get max height,
the
and then
entire
max height,
thing.
and
Like,
then-
look. Holy sh! Look at that!
What? Ah, sick.
Yeah, that's fucking
okay.
cracked.
I tried to do
Doesn't
that.
have
It's
to go all
so
the way over.
hard.
That's cracked. That's so
Okay.
cracked.
He does have like
He's
stitch hands.
good.
Feels like he's got extra paws.
I knew about that, but man, I tried. I couldn't do it. You have to hit the exact right spot.
Yeah, I tried too, Atrioc.
Okay, this is there's no cheating the cogs.
Oh yeah, this is super smooth.
What's he do here? Like,
Yeah, there
angles his
is.
body, hits the thing, boom, boom, never slows down.
And then he goes to the
Doesn't do a
right.
full wheel turn.
Das hier ist alles super, super, super easy, sage ich.
Super.
Er macht halt sehr gut und sehr schnell.
Cogs is cogs. People are calling it a squeak skip. That's probably not accurate. But
And I guess they skip all the way up the
No,
wall here.
Squeex' skip is probably not wine skip. What would be Squeex' skip? Probably at the last thing, the
Oh my
skipping
God,
having a hair.
Was?
Crazy.
Oh fuck yeah! Oh my god, he nailed it. What the fuck?
Bro, what the fuck?
I do that. I'm not impressed.
What the fuck? Okay, das ist ein verrückter Skip. Holy shit.
I'm just happy I got the collectibles. Getting collectibles in these
Wait, I
games
can't
is
wait to see the
so
next part.
painful because they
What
tend
does
to
he
be like
do?
very risky to do.
this section busted my balls. This section is hard.
Hold W.
What?
Oh, he goes to the side.
Oh, shit.
Wait. That's so insane. I have to watch that again.
Busted my balls. This section is hard.
What?
Oh, what? Oh, shit.
What in the fuck am I watching?
Jesus
Gott,
Christ.
hier ist der Hut.
Bro, what the fuck was that? Dude, that's cracked.
Yeah, but he didn't get the hat, chat. So then he really.
I hate having to react with like all these professional reactors. Is my reaction adequate? Like, it's embarrassing. I'm not as good as these guys, you know?
He beat the game.
Factually, it is. Okay, I thought there might
Yell
be a way
more,
to skip
pussy.
that. Oh,
Okay.
Oh my god, he held onto the ledge to save a second. Okay, yeah, skip it all. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, why not?
Oh.
wrong way.
Oh, I know this trick. I can't do this.
Definitely the wrong way.
Hier war ich auch so lange stuck.
He top grabs here.
How did he jump?
Was hat er gemacht?
Marginally.
Oh, what?
What? No, you can't do that.
I
No,
can't.
you just can't do that.
Okay, he's gonna go to the left here, I think.
Why is that top grab faster than just grabbing normally?
Alter, what?
I guess you like get off of the thing a little
fuck?
faster, maybe.
Gets here, turns around.
It must be, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
nah, you're faster there.
I went right. I think you're supposed to go right.
Okay, auch lief, okay.
Okay. Oh.
Digga, halt's Maul. Halt's Maul, Digga.
FPS
Was?
change.
That skips a lot.
What in the fuck am I watching? Are we playing the same game?
What is that? Wait, spliced.
That skips a lot.
What in the fuck am I watching? Are we playing the same
Do you see that cut?
game?
He attracts him. What is he doing now?
Okay. Oh, that's a fail. Okay, some improvement to be had.
Wait, Dan Corona. Is Dan here? Is that a fail?
What is he?
Was he trying to go for something there?
What? Wait, where are you going?
Wait, up there too? Oh, damn.
Not
Oh
a fail.
my god!
Thank you, horse tranquilizer.
Bro just skipped half
Okay, you have to go in the hole.
No, you don't.
Wait, where's he going?
You
I've
don't
seen
have
this.
to go in the hole.
No, don't tell me you can skip this entire section.
Oh my,
This is so hard.
Oh my god.
That's some horse shit.
What the heck?
That's crazy.
Dude, he's like in the ending rooms at 7:30.
Wait, so he beats this whole part in like a minute.
Was hat er hier?
What's he doing now? Why is he changing the FPS?
That's insane.
Oh my god. No way. No way!
Wait, why would you go down there? You could have done the other jump.
Oh, he saved himself too. Wow.
Oh no, he's gonna break the game, isn't he?
Ludwig, you motherfucker, you were going for this in your first playthrough.
No, you can't.
My ass. No way. Like, you fucking went for this skip. God damn it.
No.
Yeah, I beat it in 5 hours.
I'm a moron.
Dude, this is crazy.
What? Oh, when you skip that part?
Yeah, I should be doing that. That's just easy.
I do remember this place. I spent most of my playthrough was this place.
What is that settings menu?
They're overreacting you.
Okay,
cut this in. Ah, holy shit!
I feel like I'm pace. Okay, this
Where are you
is
going?
cheating,
No,
right?
no way.
He's cheating, bro. He's cheating.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, this section I feel like I'm low-key world record pace. Okay, this
Where are you
is
going?
cheating,
No,
right?
no way.
He's cheating, bro. He's cheating.
Oh. I've never seen that.
Icarus is
Wait, I should confuse people. Wait, hold on. I want to confuse people that don't know who they're watching.
I swear to God, he's cheating. He's like glitching through the fucking map and shit.
My first try. Bro, das ist so schwer.
How the fuck is he skipping like this? This is insane.
What is he gonna do?
No way, dude.
Oh my god, er nimmt den Bouncer. Er nimmt den Bouncer.
Spamming. Oh, he's spamming the trigger.
Did he just make a mistake there?
That was a jump.
Halt's Maul, Digga. What the fuck?
Oh my god, how? Oh, holy shit. What the hell is that? I can't believe it.
All right, at least the very end of the. Never mind. Shut the fuck up. There's a fucking point.
I can't believe it! Wait, how is he even getting that momentum? This makes no freaking sense whatsoever.
Wait, I gotta see that again.
Okay, I have to explain this. This is the skip that Lance and Not Edge discovered, and I promise you, we made sure that you cannot get enough height by hitting the jump pad. There is no situation in which you can get enough height to reach that second jump pad. But Karem doesn't land on the jump pad, he lands on the side. Maybe not that, that's what happens if you don't time your grab perfectly to catch your landing. Instead, he grabs to catch himself, which increases his friction, giving him a release boost, which gets him up the ramp. And then, right before he hits the jump pad, he grabs again, giving him a second speed boost, where he clips the box collider of the jump pad, and because he's heading up, and with his newly added speed, he can reach the second jump pad, skipping the entire last section. It really is the culmination of all the skips combined. So impressive. Anyway, back to the run.
Boah, das ist so satisfying irgendwie. Oh mein Gott.
Does he hit this first try?
Final jump.
What is he doing? Slow down.
Boah, das Game ist echt geil. No joke, gutes Game.
Lines it up.
No, he's got to be really careful on this.
Nerve-wracking. Oh, yikes. Almost fucked it.
Digga,
Oh, you still have to go there. That's nerve-wracking.
Oh my god.
Wow,
The reverse time.
That's awesome. That was a fantastic
Oh, like a real ice skater.
I did not think it was possible.
9:57. Wow.
That's fucking crazy.
Fun game, though.
Woo! What an impressive run. And it turns out that Space Hunter's run, although absolutely cracked and so creative,
You missed. You fucked up.
was only remotely close to Karem's time.
Oh.
Why is there a hole there? Why is there a hole there? What is he
Hey,
doing?
did he mess up on purpose, or is this like the?
Thank you, horse
the
tranquilizer.
What the hell?
Because they found some insane out-of-bounds skips.
What?
You dirty dog.
Reverse.
Yeah.
Miss.
But he's still, like, you know, Karem's not making any mistakes, and he's
Okay.
Dude, I wish I learned some shit like this so I could have an undefeated time. And then just like
Which is
say,
amazing.
oh, they didn't beat my
I'm so glad
time.
I submitted, but
Some stupid
was
skip.
illegal for the final run, disqualifying them. Meaning Karem actually won by nearly 30 seconds. So, congratulations to the top
Damn.
5 runners, to Karem for winning back-to-back
And Dan
and a huge
Corona.
Thank you to the entire speedrunning community. Whew. This was a massive video that required a ton of research and time, and I'm itching to get back to work. So there probably won't be any new videos for a while. And who knows, maybe we'll do a small update in the future for the game, but the only way to know is to
Please.
subscribe and to buy the game on Steam. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
I just loved that video. That was so great. Genuinely. I absolutely loved it. Here's the vid. Thank you, Cybuck. Koibita. Thank you. What an amazing vid. That's so good. Do you like me? That was awesome. Did they ask permission to use your reaction? No. Oh, I missed a call from Big A. That's okay. I think he was just saying it's okay for me to react, or it's not okay for me to react. All the streamers felt like this? What the fuck is this video?
He's like a Grinch. Okay. A little bit weird, but oh my god.
You're so right. This is
fucking way. He's actually awesome.
What? I'm not a pro reactor.
No, dude. No, he's so cool. He's like a character. He's a character that he can. Oh my god, I. That's actually awesome, dude.
It's so funny. Good video. I'm working on my react. I'm trying to, I'm trying to be like one of the best. Coin game.